Hi Makeup Designers, I'm your host Daniel and this is my model Betsy. And we are celebrating, it's October with a little shants. Cheers, and cheers to you guys. I'm excited, it's getting close to Halloween. I'm going to teach you a lesson on zipper makeup, which you may have seen before, but I'm adding a twist to it. We're going to turn Betsy into Little Red Riding Hood, and as she unzips her face, she's going to expose the big bad wolf. Pretty cool. So there's a lot of supplies in creating this look. Those supplies will be added to the end of this video. In the meantime, some of the things we could talk about right now are zippers. I'm using a short zipper on Betsy. You can get one that's a lighter color, either in a nude or a pink to sort of go with the skin tone. I also like it with a black zipper because that adds a nice detail as well. But today we're going to use the pink zipper. I'm also going to use a prosthetic nose for the big bad wolf and some crepe here, and we'll talk about that as we go through the video. So enjoy. First we're going to measure the zipper to her face. And you're going to slide the zipper to where you want it on her nose. Like that. I'm going to apply latex underneath the zipper. I'm using Mehron liquid latex in clear. You can also get it in flesh tone. I feel like this controls what color I want to make the foundation. Alright, so we're adding the latex underneath the zipper. It's going to take a moment to dry, so we just keep working that in and under. Okay. This is going to be a three-dimensional look, so at the end we'll be able to peel this up and out, but for right now we need to attach the zipper to the skin. Next we're going to take tissue and we're going to rip that up to emulate skin. What I want to suggest or recommend is that tissue usually is double plied, so I always take it apart and don't use it as 2-ply. And then secondly, I rip the edges. I don't use this, the solid edges, so that it's not so, it looks a little more rough around the edges. We're going to pour latex on our sponge and apply your tissue overlapping the zipper. Start working the latex on and around your tissue. I always start around the edges first, and then I'll go into the center. Once the latex is applied and dried, I apply a castor seal on top. Castor seal locks in the latex, and it sort of is adding like oil or sebum back to your skin. It makes it easier for you to apply foundation after. Alright, next I'm going to add the foundation. I'm using Ben Nye cream foundation. Start layering that in. Into the zipper over your latex. I've already applied foundation. I did her eyes already, as you guys can see. I like that idea of really beautiful makeup and then unzipping into something ugly. Again, a lot of times you'll see people doing red and blood underneath here. It really worked to make the eyes beautiful because I think that's what makes it even more striking. Alright, after you have applied the foundation, I set it with a powder. And then we're going to come in and we're going to start pulling the latex up. Now remember, we used latex underneath, but that was simply to hold the zipper down. The Kleenex is allowing that to act as a second layer of flesh. And we're going to move and pull gently so it doesn't rip the skin up, as you can see. Okay? I'm using the back of my brush for this. At this stage you have two options. We're going to start creating the big bad wolf underneath. I have this prosthetic piece that has little teeth on it, or you could draw in a nose, blacken out her nose, and add fangs in. I'm going to use this instead. I'm going to add latex to the edges of this piece and slide it into the zipper. All right, once we get the prosthetic in, we're going to use Mehron's Fantasy FX in brown for her foundation. Okay, and because that's going to match the prosthetic piece. So I'm going to put that all around with a sponge. The nice thing about this is it dries without powder. It's water-based, so it can come off very quickly. So I'm going to lift her skin up and get underneath. All right, open your mouth. I'm going to use Ben Nye's Vino. It's like a burgundy red. I feel like she just needs a little bit of color because there's so much brown on. All right, we're going to now use a matte spirit gum and some brown crepe hair, just add a little more texture to it. So what I'm going to do is take the brush and apply the glue where you want it. I'm just going to do it on both sides of her chin. And then I take a knife and start layering that hair on top of the glue. And really, if you wanted to do a full beard, for example, you would just do rows and rows of spirit gum. Then after that, I'll take my scissors and cut that off. I'm gonna keep it a little longer because I can go in there and manipulate the crepe hair, or I could give it a little haircut once I've decided how I want it to look. All right, and so now the crepe hair is on. Our last step is if you want to add a little blood. I like this coagulated blood. It's also good for zombie makeup. It won't run down the face. Open your mouth, Betsy. If you want, you can just give her a little blood in the, just dripping down here, okay? That can give that a little more spooky. All right, we added a black fur collar, and now I'm going to add a wig that I did for Little Red Riding Hood. And ta-da! This is the final look. I think it turned out really, really amazing. I'm so excited. Yeah, she's spooky. So, here's another way we can look at her profile again. Open your mouth real big. That's, yeah, so close. So I think that turned out really gorgeous. It's a fun Halloween application you can do. And again, have a lot of fun and have a happy Halloween. Cheers, guys.